Today, I will walk you through what Drchrono is, what some of the key features and benefits are, and how to get started. Drchrono is a patient care platform. A patient care platform begins with the full functionality of an electronic medical record certified for meaningful use incentives, but goes beyond that to include specialized point-of-care tools to enhance the physician-patient relationship and improve the delivery of care. Drchrono's patient care platform uses the elegance of the iPad to provide you with the ability to access complete records, use them to interact with your patients and colleagues, and record information in a way you are comfortable with at the point of care in the exam room. And you can develop a customized experience without any special programming skills or personnel. With Drchrono, your whole office is digital, from patient check-in through the visit in the exam room, all the way through billing, so you can avoid any redundancies and make your whole office more efficient. The transition from a paper-based system to the Drchrono patient care platform with the iPad brings an elegant simplicity to your practice, allowing you to focus on listening to and treating your patients. Let's face it, using a desktop or laptop computer is not the easiest or most cost-effective way to be digital and treat your patients effectively at the same time. Drchrono provides you a robust, intuitive solution using the right device at the right time for the right person. First of all, the patient is not left out of the Drchrono solution. Drchrono replaces the clipboard with an iPad for check-in. The physician uses the iPad in the exam room to document the visit and view, edit, and share patient documents, add billing codes, and send documents to colleagues. Your staff uses a desktop or laptop computer to manage billing and scheduling. The physician may also use the computer to make custom forms without having to have programming skills. You can also review progress toward meaningful use qualification, conduct patient analytics, and manage your account. Finally, Drchrono is fully HIPAA compliant and certified for meaningful use incentives under the HITECH Act. Note that patient information is stored in the cloud, which means that you don't have to buy special software or servers to use Drchrono. This way, patient information is not stored on the iPad itself, but rather remotely. This ensures that if your iPad is stolen or lost, no one can access protected patient information without your private login and password. With the OnPatient app from Drchrono, the process of patient check-in is now actually enjoyable. OnPatient may be downloaded from the App Store on iTunes free of charge and may be used separately from or together with the physician-patient care platform. Note that security provisions ensure that a patient can only view her own information, not that of other patients. If the patient quits out of the application, a staff member must use his private login information to get back in. The intuitive interface of OnPatient makes it easy for a patient to update her info. A patient can snap a photo and upload it instantly. She can add or edit health insurance information and automatically add it to her patient record. She can indicate the reason for her visit through simple on-off buttons, which you can customize, again, without programming skills. Finally, you can allow your patients to use that valuable time sitting in the waiting room, focusing on why they're there to see you, by allowing them to review their medications list and make comments they have about their meds, pose open-ended questions to you, and answer questions you have of them. Finally, a patient can review your HIPAA privacy agreement and then sign the agreement simply using her finger to sign her name. When the patient clicks on Finish, the information she added, including comments and questions, reasons for her visit, everything, are submitted directly to your patient care platform so you can review all of that information, should you wish, before you even walk into the exam room. You, as the physician, use a different Drchrono application called Drchrono EHR in the App Store to access complete patient records. The physician uses this application at the point of care to document the patient encounter and also to educate and inform your patients and colleagues by editing and sharing documents, videos, and other files. The information from the OnPatient application which I just showed you on the previous slides, integrates with this physician application but can work independently. With Drchrono, using digital records does not mean having to adapt to someone else's way of doing things. You choose how you take your notes so you can focus on the patient. You can choose to type either by choosing menu items or manually typing in notes through the iPad keyboard. You can talk using clinical speech-to-text technology, or you can simply tap a button and your custom text instantly appears. Finally, as I'll show you later, you can design entire custom forms with Drchrono without programming skills or hiring any specialized personnel. When you log into Drchrono, you see all your patients coming in for the day. All the patients are listed on the left side, and the appointment details for the selected patient are on the right. When you select Patient Chart, you now have access to all of your patient notes, documents, videos, consent forms, anything related to the selected patient in the palm of your hand. Here, you can access information about the patient visit, profile, and history of all the documents, x-rays, files, and videos related to this patient. When you select the Visit button, you get access to the patient H&P, SOAP notes, and any custom forms you've created. Note that when you select H&P, Drchrono defaults to the clinical checklist. You can use these default items you see on the right side of the screen, or you can add, delete, or modify this content. We provide these items to you merely as a default offering. Finally, note that you can access the information the patient entered in the OnPatient application by selecting this OnPatient button. Let's take a look at options for entering data. As you go about a patient's visit in an exam room, one option is to enter your data by selecting from menu items which you create or use our default items. Note that in this example, in the subjective portion of his SOAP notes, the physician selects orthopnea from the list of items. You may select one or multiple values from this list. The selection automatically populates your patient notes. Alternatively, if you prefer dictating your notes, you can use Drchrono to do clinical speech-to-text. Simply click the speech-to-text button, speak, tap a button to end, and your notes appear in the yellow text box you see here and are integrated with your patient note. Note that the M-modal speech-to-text software learns your voice as you go, so it only gets better with time. Finally, Drchrono lets you add a stream of your custom content in the touch of a single button. Simply tap a button that contains your content located here on your patient care platform. You can create up to 100 of these custom buttons without programming skills. With Drchrono, we give you as many options as possible to work within your workflow. The technology gets out of the way so you can focus on your patient. What if you have your own forms that you want to use on Drchrono? Drchrono lets you create those custom forms for use in the exam room. In fact, you can even include template diagrams in your forms on which you can do freehand drawings or markings. And individual questions or drawings can even be linked to billing codes so you can get paid without even remembering to enter those codes. When you've embedded your diagram in your notes, you can then pull it up and use FreeDraw to create an explanatory discussion with a patient or make markings on her x-ray or other document, and even a video file. Once you're done, you then embed the drawing with your markings on it within your patient note with the tap of a button. Other than files you may have attached to your custom templates, you can also access any file on the patient within the History tab. All files you have stored for this patient are located in this section. Pull up the file, and you can make notes for your patient or colleague using FreeDraw, and then store the edited version in the patient history file again. Drchrono also lets you do electronic prescribing, either new prescriptions or refills. Select any generic or brand name medication, or from a quick list of medications you commonly prescribe. Once you select a product, choose the drug strength and form. Then, select from any pharmacy nationwide, so if your patient will be out of town, she can pick it up in another location. Search by zip code or pharmacy name. Finally, review your prescription and send it. If the pharmacy doesn't take electronic prescriptions, Drchrono will print and fax the prescription for you. Then, in the patient's medications and allergies listed in the H&P section, you can view her medication list, including all drug-drug and drug-allergy interactions. You can even filter the list based on the severity of interaction. In the patient H&P, there is a billing section. Select from any ICD-9, CPT, or HCPCS code and automatically add them to your patient notes and the patient superbill. You can even access your commonly used billing profiles so you can get through billing quickly right from the exam room. You can also create custom procedures and access those in the billing section as well. When you're done, you can then review your note. Notice that everything you added, menu selections, speech to text, freehand drawing notes, everything is included in your custom document. You can then use FreeDraw to make further markings, then sign and lock your note, and even send it to a printer. Or you can fax your completed patient note to colleagues. Simply enter a name and fax number, write a cover note, and then hit send to securely fax your note anywhere. You can also fax individual documents from a patient history as well. Finally, Drchrono offers a complete billing center and the ability to perform patient analytics. This is most easily accessed through a desktop or laptop computer. Also included are reporting analytics to help prepare you for meaningful use attestation. Through the web, Drchrono lets you electronically manage billing. You can view and print the patient's superbill. The information you added from the patient care platform automatically populates this superbill so you don't have to. You can create custom billing profiles for access during your patient visit, along with custom procedure and product codes. You can track claims, view patient statements, review a daily transaction summary, review claims by procedure, view accounts receivable, review and print patient ledgers, and receive electronic remittance advice. Note that there are no clearinghouse fees associated with Drchrono. Finally, note that your Drchrono website provides an analytic tool to calculate your progress toward meaningful use qualification. We have a complete listing of each requirement for meaningful use qualification, along with an indicator to evaluate if you have met that requirement. If you have questions about a requirement, we also provide links to more info from CMS, as well as specific examples of how to achieve each requirement using Drchrono. Using this page is an important resource in making sure your filing goes smoothly. Getting started is easy. You can download OnPatient and the Drchrono EHR app from the Apple iTunes App Store at any time. OnPatient is free, and the basic version of the physician application is also free, including everything required for meaningful use attestation. Free training is available every day from Drchrono. You can enroll in any of our free online training classes by signing up at drchrono.com. Also on our training page, you'll find free training videos which you can access at any time. At Drchrono, we believe that better care delivery lets you focus on the patient so your patients receive even better quality care. Thank you for using Drchrono.